The restaurant was a symphony of soft golden lights and polished marble, a place where whispers replaced conversation. Every sound was hushed, every movement refined. Then, one chilly evening, a family of 4 walked in. Their clothes were clean but worn, their smiles faint but hopeful. The waiter on duty, Lucas, forced a polite smile. "Do you have a reservation?" he asked, his tone distant. The father hesitated. "No, sir. We were hoping there might be a table available." Lucas glanced around the half-full dining room. "This is a fine dining establishment," he said slowly. "Our meals aren't cheap." The mother looked down, clutching her purse. "We understand," she whispered. "It's a special day." Sighing quietly, Lucas led them to a small table near the kitchen door. As they sat, they exchanged small smiles of gratitude, missing the condescending glances from nearby diners and the smirk on Lucas's face. "Can I get you something to drink?" he asked, tapping his pen impatiently. "Just water, please," said the father. Lucas raised an eyebrow. "Still or sparkling?" the father replied. Tap water is fine." Lucas walked away with a faint chuckle. "Tap water," he muttered. At the bar, another waiter leaned in. "First-timers?" he asked with a grin. "More like last-timers," Lucas replied coolly. But as he looked back at the family, he saw the father straightening his tie and the mother calming the children, and a strange pang of guilt pricked at him. He returned with the menus. The family opened them carefully, their faces tightening at the prices. "Is there perhaps a children's portion of the pasta?" the father asked quietly. Lucas smirked. "All portions are standard, sir, but you can share if you'd like." As he walked away, he overheard the little boy whisper, "Dad, are we going to get dessert too?" The father's gentle reply hung in the air. "Maybe next time, buddy. Let's just enjoy being here." Lucas tried to ignore them, focusing on his wealthier customers, yet he couldn't help but notice the quiet warmth of the family. They didn't complain. They didn't raise their voices. The kids simply held hands under the table. It was simple and pure. When their meal arrived, a single plate of pasta for the children and 2 modest salads for the parents, they thanked him as if he had brought them a feast. "Everything looks wonderful," the mother said with a shy smile. Lucas just nodded, confused by their gratitude for so little. An hour later, the father timidly asked, "Could we maybe get one small slice of the chocolate cake? To share?" At the bar, Lucas rolled his eyes. They're sharing cake now. This is sad. But when he brought the slice to their table, the family's faces lit up with genuine delight. The mother divided it into 4 perfect bites, giving the larger pieces to the children. Then she whispered to her husband, her voice trembling with love, "Happy birthday." Lucas froze. "Birthday?" The father smiled weakly. "Thank you. I couldn't imagine a better way to spend it." Lucas stared at them, at the love and gratitude they shared over the smallest things. He walked back toward the kitchen, his chest tight with an emotion he couldn't name. When it was time for the check, the father simply nodded at the total and reached into his coat. He began carefully counting out coins, quarters, dimes, and pennies, stacking them slowly on the table. Lucas blinked. "Sir, we take cards." The father smiled faintly. "It's okay. We saved up for this. Every bit counts." Nearby, someone chuckled. Lucas felt his own face flush with shame. When he returned to collect the payment, he found a small folded note under the pile of coins. He opened it, and the words hit him like a physical blow. It read, "Thank you for serving us. Today was the first time we sat together in a restaurant since my wife finished her cancer treatments. This meant more to us than you'll ever know." Lucas stared at the words until they blurred. His heart pounded. He looked up, but the family was gone. He rushed to the door, but they had already disappeared into the night. He stood there, the note trembling in his hand as a wave of guilt washed over him. Back in the dining room, the earlier whispers now felt cruel and hollow. He walked toward the back wall, needing a moment to breathe. And that's when he saw it. An old framed photograph from the restaurant's grand opening. In it, the founder stood proudly, a young man beside him, holding the hand of a little boy. Lucas leaned closer. His stomach dropped. The young man in the photo was the same father from tonight. A co-worker noticed his shock. "Oh, you didn't know," she said softly. "That's the founder's son. He used to own this place before the recession, lost everything." "He owned it?" Lucas's breath caught in his throat. He looked at the photo again, at the small child holding his father's hand, and suddenly he recognized the same quiet smile in the boy from the table. Without a second thought, he ran out into the night. He spotted them halfway down the block. "Wait!" he called out. They turned, startled. "I'm sorry," he said breathlessly. "I didn't know who you were." The father smiled gently. "You didn't need to. We're just a family trying to make a new start." Lucas shook his head. "No, sir. You built something beautiful here, and I treated you like you didn't belong." The father placed a hand on his shoulder. "It's all right, son. Sometimes people forget that kindness doesn't cost a thing. I did too once." He smiled, then turned to leave with his family, disappearing into the city lights. Back inside, Lucas stared at the old photograph, seeing not just faces but stories of sacrifice and second chances. The next day, he asked the manager to move the photo to the entrance. "People should see where this place came from," he said. From that day on, Lucas treated every customer as if they carried a story worth hearing. He learned that true worth isn't in what someone can afford, but in what they've survived. If this story reached you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Comment below about a time kindness changed your perspective. And don't forget to subscribe to Rewind Reality, where every story reminds us that compassion can turn ordinary moments into unforgettable lessons.